Hey everyone, it's Jen with Timeline Tarot. I hope you're doing well. These are your angel messages for the week of January 11th, 2026. I'll begin with Aries and with Pisces. Timestamps will be in the description box. I've set the intention of this reading to be for your Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as your Venus placements. If you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also in the description box is information on how you can become a time traveler. As always, keep in mind it is a collective general reading, not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate, and if that happens, it's okay. It just means that one message is meant for someone else. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. Be sure to check out your other placements. And one other thing, this week's reading is abbreviated, much like last week's reading was, and that is because I'm trying to create time and save my voice for some of the other readings that I'm doing for you today as well. So with all of that said, let's begin. Hello, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're doing well today. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. Your angel number, 300, Divine Connection. The mind, body, and spirit unite. Your angels acknowledge that you have an intense connection to the divine right now. This unity of your mind, body, and spirit creates a conduit for spirit messages. Sit in meditation this week with your hands on your third eye chakra, the center of your forehead right now. Repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I trust in my abilities. Okay, what is this all about here? Divine connection here for the Aries collective. I hope my mic is on. It is? Okay. For Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, what do they need to know about this divine connection? What do they need to know about this divine connection? One more shuffle here. I suddenly got this nervous feeling, so I feel like I've picked up on the energy for someone watching. We have Justice, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Queen of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have King of Swords, King of Cups, and a Nine of Cups to the Two of Wands. I feel like there's a decision here for the Aries collective. Now, this could be in regards to career and finance, love and romance. At this time, based upon your past experiences, it appears here that you're exploring a particular direction in your life. You're not being hasty about this. It looks like you want to do it in a fair and balanced way for you and for everyone who may be involved in this particular decision. Tell me why Justice is here. I feel like you're exploring ways to move onto a new path or make a decision. I heard in the least complicated way. So in the least complicated way. Tell me more about this here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Justice is clarified by the Ace of Swords. That is the truth. We have the Devil and we have the Lovers. There's your choice card and then the Hangman. So there's something here in the Aries collective, again, some type of decision you want to make in regards to a particular situation, environment, or connection in your life. It'll be different for each of you. And there's a feeling here, an energetic feeling of like, I really need to pause. Look at that World card. I really need to pause before I make this decision to close this out and move in this direction. We didn't get the Temperance card, but I'm feeling it here. It's like I want to do it in a tempered, mild, fair, balanced way. I don't want it to be toxic in nature. I don't want to rush this decision. And once I make the decision, I also want to take my time to implement that decision. So you have a choice here on the table. It looks like this week, what you really need to do is just trust in your abilities to create the path or plan that you need in order to move in this direction. I feel like the universe is with you this week, should you choose to create that path or plan for yourself. Closing messages here for Aries. One more shuffle. I feel like you are now aligned. Again, mind, body, spirit. I feel like you now feel aligned about that direction. So your next step here is to create the path or plan for it. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the path or plan, because for me, this is Virgo energy, and high vibe Virgo energy is creating that strategy, that system, that plan to execute this decision. You have the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Seven of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles. So This week you are in sync, meaning you are aligned, mind, body, and spirit to create this path or this plan. I feel like you can take it very slow. You don't need to rush. But if this is the week that you at least want to start working on that plan, this would be a fabulous week. But again, take your time so you don't get too caught up in the Eight of Swords, because I feel like that's where you have the possibility of fears, doubts, and insecurities to creep in. But Three of Pentacles, as long as you take your time, Ace of Wands towards this new beginning, this new start. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Ace of Wands to the Queen of Cups. Ace of Wands to the Ace of Cups to the Queen of Swords. This is a really great energy. So yeah, as long as you take your time to create this plan, I feel like that will get rid of any illusions, confusions, and even doubts, fears, or anxieties that you have. But it looks like a decision here is on the table for you. It appears to be one that you've made, and now you just seem to need to work out the logistics of it. And like I said, this would be a great week for you to do that. So that is what I have for you, Aries, for the week of January 11th, 2026. Your angel number is 300, Divine Connection. If you like that message, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. Don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Taurus, my bull gang. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel messages for the week of January 11th, 2026. What is the angel message here for the Taurus collective? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. 828, victory. Be content with what you have done. Recall the sacrifices you made, the work you did, and the truth you uncovered. Your angels applaud you and send you celebratory energy. Show them you receive it by thanking yourself out loud right now. Perhaps even dance and or sing along to your favorite happy song. Feel the divine flow through you. All right, tell me about this victory here for the Taurus collective this week. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What do they need to know about this victory? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Nine of Cups, beautiful energy there for you, Taurus. We have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Page of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune, Five of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and the Four of Cups. Taurus, I feel like you are receiving communication, information, offer, opportunity this week. Let's see what this is all about. I feel like this is divine timing for you to receive this. It could be something you applied for, something you've worked on. I feel like it will make you very happy when you receive this news or this communication. I'm also getting the feeling here like this will be a cause for celebration, no matter how great or small this is. So tell me more about this here for Taurus. And again, Taurus, I don't know where you are in the timeline. For some of you, you've received this last week, and this week is a wonderful time for you to celebrate this. Again, no matter how great or small it is, don't forget to celebrate all of your victories. For others of you, you could be just a little further back on the timeline, and therefore this is something you're receiving this week. Let me get one more shuffle here on that Page of Pentacles. Thank you. The Page of Pentacles is being clarified by the Ten of Wands, the Tower, and the Seven of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords, the World card, and the Page of Wands. Taurus, I feel like this is something you've been waiting for quite some time. It will relieve a burden or some type of stress. I feel for the longest time you thought that this would just be some kind of wish or daydreamy kind of energy. I don't think you saw this coming in. Again, this could be maybe you applied for a loan, maybe you applied for a grant, maybe you applied to adopt a pet. There's just something here. I think you've been waiting quite some time for it. Tell me more about this. Communication is imminent, meaning it is coming in. For some of you last week, for others of you this week. Tell me more about this. This is a victory. I think it could be a little small in nature, but you are meant to celebrate this nonetheless. Tell me about that victory. One more shuffle. The Ace of Swords also talks about a victory. We have the Star card, we have the Empress, and we have the Sun. Wow, nothing screams victory more like this. So it's in respect to some type of situation, environment, or connection. Some type of news you've been waiting on, or like I said, information, offer, opportunity. Some of you received this within the last 10 days. For others of you, this is coming in within the next 10 days. This makes you very happy. This is something you didn't think was coming. I'm getting justice vibes here for some reason. So this seems to be the universe universe saying to you, like this is your reward. I feel like there's a little clearing here of something karmic, perhaps happened between you and another individual, something like that. But truth and clarity here are coming in with this offer, communication or opportunity. And it appears here that you will be extraordinarily happy. So whatever this is for you, Taurus, this week, make sure that you give yourself a little pat on the back and do something nice for yourself, because victory here appears to be yours. That is what I have for you, my dear. Your angel number is 828. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Gemini, my twin gang. I hope that you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does Gemini need to know? What is their message for the week ahead? Gemini's sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. Our angel number is 716, soul companions. Important connections are building. Your angels want you to make new, mutually supportive bonds. The people you meet are special to your journey. Welcome them into your heart space. Think of someone in your life you've connected with recently or reconnected with recently. Send this person a message or reach out to talk face to face. See how you can build upon this connection. Okay, this is in regards to a soul bond connection here, a soul companion. This could be in your professional, personal life, meaning with a friend, a family member, a lover. I feel like this is someone that you've had some kind of distance with. Maybe you keep in touch online, but you don't regularly speak to this person. Tell me more about this here for Gemini, sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus. What do they need to know about this soul companion? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Swords. That's your energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. And we have the Moon. Bottom of the deck, we have the Sun. Gemini, I think there's someone here that for quite some time, maybe even up to the last 5 years, I feel like you lost touch with this person. You're still somehow connected to them. So this could be maybe through community, through friends. This could be like a distant relative. You're still bonded to them through family. But I just feel like this is someone you haven't spoken to or you haven't seen in quite some time. There's a need here for you to connect with this person again. Okay, tell me more about this connection. Again, I feel like this is more like a friend, family member, a colleague, something like that. Someone that you are still associated with in some way, but maybe you haven't spent a lot of time with this person. For others of you, if that message is not resonating with you at all, then it's time for you to get out into the world, overcome some doubts, fears, and anxieties you have, and start building a soul tribe for yourself. Friends who will become like the fabric of your life. So take that message how it resonates to you. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. Okay, that was fast. The Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Ten of Cups, the Strength card, and the Knight of Swords. There you go. The Ten of Cups. This is someone who at some point in time lent to the happiness or contributed to the happiness of your life. This could be a friend that you treated like family. Like I said, a family member. I don't feel like it's an ex, but for those of you who are looking for reconciliation, you certainly can take that message that way. But I kind of feel like this is someone, I don't think there was a fallout here. I just feel like there was a disconnection. You know, you were friends or you hung out all the time, or maybe this was a cousin that you were close with and just kind of life took you in separate directions. There's a need here for you to come back together with this person. They could be another air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They could also be a Leo. I have Cancer here in the Moon card. I don't know. I feel like life got in the way here with the Seven of Wands. And again, like I said, for those of you where this is not resonating, you're like, nope, I don't have anyone like that in my life that I've disconnected with and want to reconnect with, then this is just telling you it's time to get out into the world, push through those doubts, fears, and anxieties, and start building your Ten of Cups. Start building a network of people that you could really rely on. And I'm feeling more here like soul tribe. So friends who will become, like I said, the fabric of your life and become like family to you. Anything else Gemini needs to know about this connection or these people? I feel like this is like a leap of faith on your part, either to reconnect with this person or to connect and meet some new people. Anything else Gemini needs to know? One more shuffle. Thank you. Anything else you need to know? Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the World card. Bottom of that, King of Swords. I like this. So, yeah, there's something here. If you've seen my readings before, I always say, for me anyway, I know not every tarot reader believes this, but for me anyway, queens exist in the present based upon their past experiences. I see all 4 queens in tarot that way. And then for me, kings take action. It's not a masculine versus feminine thing. It's just kings are the top tier of their card suit. So I think based upon your past experience here, you either have shut the world out. In that respect, it's time for you to get out there and meet some new people, make some new solid connections here in your life. Start investing time into meeting those people and nurturing those connections with this Queen of Cups energy. And for others of you, and let me go back, that would be you now having to take the lead as the in your masculine energy here. I believe we all have feminine and masculine energy. So it's time here for you to be bold and brave and get out into the world and meet some new people. And like I said, for others of you, there's someone here or maybe a group of people you lost touch with. It's time to reconnect with them. I'm not getting the feeling here like this is someone that you had a lot of drama with. It just seems life took you in separate directions, and a small little text, how you're doing. Yeah, especially for those of you where, like I said, you had a falling out, the connection just kind of fizzled, came to an end. I think a little text, hey, how are you doing? You want to meet up for coffee or grab a drink together, I think would be a great way for you to reconnect this soul bond. There's some reason here in respect to the next chapter of your life why this person or these people are needed. And so this is a great week for you to connect or reconnect with them. That is what I have for you, Gemini, for the week of January 11th, 2026. Your angel number is 716, Soul Companions. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope that you're doing well today. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does the Cancer Collective need to know for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements? 514, no toxicity. Detoxify your relationships. Your angels want you to remove toxic patterns from your relationships. There is a need to review a current relationship and make a change for the better. If you cannot mend it, then it's time to move forward. It's okay to let it go. Light a white candle today and thank your angels for protecting you from the energy that no longer serves you. Tell me more about this here for the Cancer Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What do they need to know about detoxifying their relationships? What do they need to know? One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 5 of Swords. And we have the Death card. Oh, time to either transform this connection or end it completely. We have the Emperor. We have the 6 of Pentacles. And we have the King of Wands. That leaves Strength, 9 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. I'll see if I can find out more for you. This person could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They could also be an Aries or a Scorpio. I feel like this connection, there's a lot of arguments. There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of envy. There's a lot of you feeling emotionally neglected by this individual, feeling unseen, unheard, not good enough. I don't know who this is to you, a friend, a family member, a lover, someone you work with. It could be even be an ex that you still communicate with. There's a need here for you to have a conversation with this person. This is like the 2 adults in the room here sitting down and having a conversation about equal give and take, reciprocity, and respect in this connection. I feel like this is a pivotal point in whatever this connection is. If it's not your reading, it's okay. Check another placement. But for those of you where this message is resonating, there's a need here for the 2 of you to sit down and have this conversation. We either need to have, I'm speaking like you, true repair in this connection. That means acknowledgement of who did what, an apology to the other, and then a path forward on how what has occurred here will not be happening in the future. I just feel like there needs to be real repair here, not the 5 of Swords happens, we have conflict, arguments, disagreement, someone throws out a sorry, and then we go right back, and it's like wash, rinse, repeat. The cycle here needs to come to an end with this particular individual. So I feel like the 2 of you need to sit down this week, or at least that's the advice, have a conversation about real repair in the connection, In that respect, I think with the death card energy, you can transmute what has occurred here and actually have a nice beginning. Sometimes the death card talks about an ending for a new beginning. Other times the death card speaks about just ending the connection once and for all. So the decision here is on the table. This can't continue. 4 of Cups to the 5 of Swords. Tell me more about that. 4 of Cups to the 5 of Swords for Cancer. One more shuffle here. Thank you. 4 of Cups to the 5 of Swords. The Chariot, the Ace of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the Star, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. Whoever this person is to you, I do think you value them. I'm not sure how this person feels about you because I'm getting a lot of envy or jealousy off of this person. But the feeling I get here is if it were up to you, you would want to move forward and have a fresh start with this person. I think you would like to reground the connection here. But I get the feeling here this person is jealous of you, either jealous of who you are, what you have, how much money you make, maybe how strong you are, you know, the relationship you have with your partner. I don't know. I'm getting some jealousy here. This could be an ex for some of you. I think you want peace. And I think this week is a good week for you to have this conversation to see if peace can be achieved with this person. Otherwise, I think Cancer, for you, it's best then to end this connection. Tell me more about that death card energy here. I think you would like to, even if this is just ending the connection, but doing it even on peaceful terms. I don't think you're looking to fight. I don't feel like I've tapped into a group of you where you want to fight and battle it out and call one another names. I'm not getting that feeling here. I think you would like victory, a fresh start, or at the very least to part as friends here, or to part in an amicable way. I'm not sure that person has that same opinion. You know what? Tell me more about this person. It just fell out of the deck. We have the Tower, which is more Scorpio energy, the Strength card, and the 6 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles, the World card, and the 3 of Cups. No offense to the cross-watcher, and I always say my readings are not cross-watcher friendly. This is giving me the energy of someone who's very immature regardless of their age. This is someone who's motivated by ego, maybe lust. They do things in the moment that feel good, but I think that it's what they do is unhealthy for the connection that they have with you. Heavy Leo energy here and heavy Scorpio energy for this person. Let's get you some advice on that death card. I also feel like this person is constantly competing with you. Like if you say, I had a great day at work, you know, let's say it's a friend you text with, and they're like, how was your day? And like, I had a great day at work. They're like, you know what? And I blah, blah, blah. And I have a feeling here with that 5 of Swords, this person tends to lie. It's kind of like they have to one-up you. That's the feeling I get here. It's a very immature energy. And it's really coming from a place of envy. Like I don't know, they wish they could have your peace, or they wish that whatever's going well in your life here, it's almost like they wish that they could have it. Let's get advice on the death card here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Advice on that death card. The 2 of Cups in regards to this partnership, Page of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Moon. It's time to have a discussion. It's time to reach out and have a discussion with this person. This connection seems trapped here. It's like trapped in a repetitive cycle. So something has to break here. We have to say the things that haven't been said. And again, with that Ace of Pentacles right behind it, either the 2 of you are going to come up with a plan here to truly repair this connection. Although, honestly, I don't think it can be repaired because I'm not getting the greatest vibes from this person. I mean, 4 of Cups to the 5 of Swords. It's like this person will do or say anything to get one over on you or to win. I really think it's rooted in envy or jealousy. For some of you, I do think this is an ex, but take the message how it resonates to you. It could be a family member as well. I just think it's time here to have a conversation. Otherwise, this cycle is going to continue to repeat with this person. You have a fresh new beginning in a lot of the readings that I've done for you in the last week or two. I think it's time for you to detoxify what is going on here in this connection. And for some of you, that means having the conversation to rebuild here, repair and rebuild. And for others of you, it's having a conversation to just amicably go your separate ways. Whichever you decide is up to you, but this is a good week for you to confront what is happening in this particular connection. Your angel number for the week, my dear, is 514. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Leo. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does the Leo collective need to know for Leo's sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus placements? Angel message 360, prosperous growth. Your readings have been like amazing the last couple of weeks here on my channel. Learn from life. Your struggles are not in vain. There is much to be learned from your current situation, and your angels want you to take this opportunity to do just that. Journal about the lessons you are coming up against now and how you can use them to foster a prosperous future for oneself, for yourself. Tell me more about 360, prosperous growth here for the Leo collective. Something here about learning from a past mistake, a past lesson in your life. Use that as fuel to do something differently now, whether that's in career and finance, love and romance, or another aspect of your life. Tell me more about this 360 prosperous growth here for the Leo collective this week. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Ace of Wands. There you go, my love, bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, the Empress, and the Wheel of Fortune. You've been getting some really good cards here and some really good intuitive messages come through with these cards. So something here that you tried in the past didn't work out for you. Again, career and finance, love and romance, something else maybe you wanted to learn, do, see. This Five of Wands tells me you can learn from this. You don't have to say, well, it didn't work out in the past, so now I'm not going to do it. I just think now you get the opportunity to do it differently. You get to do love differently. You get to do your business differently. You get to establish a new business differently, right? You get to connect with a friend or people in your life differently. Again, whatever this is for you, you get to reorganize the pantry, your food pantry differently. Just because something didn't work out in the past or didn't yield the results that you wanted doesn't mean that you can't do it differently this time and have success. Aces in tarot are opportunities. That's what they are. We don't have to take all of these opportunities, but they are presented to us. And this particular one has the opportunity, the possibility here to get you to the Ten of Pentacles. However you define that for yourself, long-term happiness, long-term success, long-term financial abundance. But I feel like it's yours for the taking. Tell me about that Five of Wands. This is like I tried it in the past and it failed. I tried tarot in the past, it failed. I tried to launch a business, it failed. I was in a relationship, it failed. It's time for you to just invest your pentacle resources a little bit differently this time. Your time, your love, your money, your devotion. Instead of using this past whatever didn't work out here for you in the past, instead of using it as the excuse to not do this, it's saying, no, use that as the reason to do this. Just use it as a reason to do it differently. Tell me more about that Five of Wands. Thank you. Five of Wands is clarified by Five of Swords. There you go. Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Six of Swords. I mean, success is almost guaranteed here, provided you do it differently. That's what it's going to take. There was something here that you were supposed to learn. The last time you tried a relationship, a friendship, like I said, a business opportunity, you were supposed to learn from that not working out. So as long as you now, as long as you understand what that lesson was, you're now prepared to move forward. I mean, the Knight of Swords is holding the Ace of Swords. So there's truth, there's clarity, there's knowledge there in that sword that the Knight is holding. And now victory can be yours again, provided that you do it differently. With that Six of Swords energy, you'll be coming out of chaos and conflict and moving towards success. Anything else Leo needs to know about this? Anything else Leo needs to know? One more shuffle. Thank you. What else do you need to know? Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Six of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Emperor. Oh, I love it. Okay, so again, as long as you learned from something in the past here, that Six of Cups energy, now you have a multitude of different ways that you can do whatever this is. I think you've learned some very valuable lessons. This time you're going to be able to get it right. This time you will be better balanced. This time you'll be able to focus on whatever this is. And with that Emperor energy, it's like you can, again, with the Five of Cups, you can learn from the past. And again, I think if you do it the same way, you're going to have the same result. But if you learn from that and say, I'm still going to do that, but I want to approach it differently, then I think success is almost guaranteed with whatever or whomever this is. Really nice reading for you, Leo. That is what I have for you, my dear, for the week of January 11th, 2026. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. Don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Virgo. I hope that you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does the Virgo collective need to know for the week ahead? I'm kind of liking these abbreviated readings. I feel like the main message comes through rather quickly. I hope I didn't just jinx myself. Okay, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What do you have? 635, stagnant. Life grows in the peaceful moments. Your angels know that life has been stagnant lately, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening behind the scenes. Sit for 1 minute where you can be undisturbed. Focus on your breathing, trying to be as connected to your own self as possible. When the minute is up, notice how much you have mindfully changed, even in that short, seemingly uneventful stretch of time. I think you need a timeout here, Virgo. I think life has been difficult, either with your career, with your job, with a connection in your life, a friend, a family member, a lover. I think you need a peaceful moment this week, and I think you need to give it to yourself. I actually think it'll be healthy for you to be a little stagnant this week. I'm getting like a frenzy feeling here. So I just think you've been going through a lot. It's time to just pause. Tell me more about this here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. One more shuffle here. Thank you. What do you have? You have the Five of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords, and you have Justice. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, and that's the feeling I was getting. This for me could be like emotional upheaval, a lot of emotions in respect to something here that occurred that provided you with a level of like emotional discontentment. There could have been an argument here or fighting. I think this is your beautiful mercurial mind not being used in the best way. You could be reliving events, things that went wrong, people who slighted you, thinking a lot about losses. So and I'll just share with you a little bit what I went through. So I took off Saturday because I promised myself I was going to declutter part of my first floor, and I'm glad to say that I did that. And then yesterday I did some readings for the first quarter for members. And then I wanted to sit down and do this reading yesterday, and 4 hours went by. I couldn't get past Taurus and Gemini, and then I was like, you know what? I'll do it in the reverse. I've never done that before, but maybe that'll kind of switch up the energy. I couldn't get past Aquarius or Capricorn. I spent like 3 or 4 hours. I was growing exceedingly frustrated, and then I decided, you know what? I'm going to give myself a timeout. This isn't working. I cleansed all the decks. I shut the lights down. I took a nice shower, I poured myself a glass of wine, and I just vegged out on the couch. I didn't have the TV on, I had no music on. I just needed to relax. And I thought, well, this morning I'm going to wake up, shower, get dressed, and if it calls to me to do the reading, I'll do it. And here I am this morning doing this reading quite bright and early. So I started getting ready at 6 a.m. So I think that's the feeling here. This seems to be something where you're frustrated, or you're sad, or you've been very emotional, or like I said, something has been going on between you and another person. I think it's okay for you to restore balance to yourself by taking a time out. And you don't have to do what I did. I just think it's important for you to take a time out this week. Tell me more about that Five of Cups to the Knight of Swords. We've got Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is not feeling the greatest. This is feeling like you've been abandoned, or you've been neglected, or you've been unheard. You try to voice your concern or your opinion about something. You feel like it's not getting through to the other person. There's a lot of frustration here. Tell me more about this here. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Star, we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Pentacles shows itself again. I think you need a timeout. The Star card talks about healing. The Four of Swords talks about healing. And then the Wheel of Fortune is like, get up and go. So maybe that's all you need, like I did last night. Just take an hour, take care of you, relax, veg out on the couch, or go for a walk in nature. Again, I don't know where you live in the world or what the climate is like. I could not go for a walk in nature last night. One, it was too dark outside. And number two, it was 21 degrees. So I just opted for nice warm shower, electric blanket, sat up here with some candles on in the dark, and just enjoyed a nice glass of Moscato. But that's just me. You do what you need to do. But I think if you can just give yourself a moment here this week to relax, you'll be able to get up and go and start working on whatever it is here that you want to work on. I feel like the path forward then will be open, but you need to decompress here emotionally, and for some of you psychologically. Anything else Virgo needs to know for the week ahead? Yeah, you need to restore balance to yourself. One more shuffle here. Thank you. some breathing exercises, some meditation. There you go. There's your victory. 6 of Wands, the Devil, and the 3 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit, which is you. So I think that you can restore harmony here, alignment to yourself, but you need to get rid of this Devil. And I think for most of you, this is internal to you because you're thinking of something, or you're thinking of something over and over again, and it's conjuring up some pretty disappointing feelings here within you. And that can become a trap. Do we need to feel certain things when they happen to us so we can heal them? Absolutely. But when we ruminate on them for, hours or days or weeks on end, then an anger can stir within us, and that can become quite toxic, quite problematic, and actually stop our forward progress here. So I think a little time out is a fantastic way for you to overcome whatever this has been and restore some peace and harmony to your life. That is what I have for you, Virgo, for the week ahead. Your angel number is 635. It's okay to be a little stagnant this week. That is what I have for you, my dear. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all a part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. Until I read for you again, Virgo, good luck this week. Take care of yourself. And as always, I'm sending you light, love, and peace. Hello, Libra. A little difficulty there with your deck while I was shuffling. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does the Libra collective need to know for Libra's Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements? What do they need to know? I just heard John. Maybe someone watching's name is John, or you're dealing with someone this week whose name is John. Okay, you have 955, romantic relationships. Reconfigure your loving connections. You are being asked to change up your way of doing things in romance, whether you are single or in a relationship. Your angels would like you to take today to reflect and reconfigure how you go about connecting with others. Give yourself a hug right now and feel the love you have within abundantly flow throughout your body and soul. If you don't want to read this as romantic relationships, it could just be partnerships and connections in general. And that would include professional, platonic, meaning with friends, family members, and yes, for some of you, romantic as well. Tell me more about romantic relationships for the Libra collective. 955. Interesting. For me, nines are very singular in tarot. We see that with the Hermit. We see that with 9 of Swords. That's internal to us. 9 of Cups. 9 of Pentacles, etc., etc. And then 5s for me are change. So there's something here about changing the way you show up in a connection. Tell me more about this here for the Libra collective. Why is 955 their angel number this week? One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the 10 of Swords. We have Justice, which is you. And then we have Judgment. Wow. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Cups. The World. What's right behind that? And the 7 of Pentacles. So, Libra, I think you've had some endings here in your life with friends, family members, maybe lovers. I don't know your particular situation. I think there's a need here for you to make a judgment call. That judgment call would be, based upon these past experiences, I'm going to show up in my connections differently. Again, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic. I think for some of you, whatever this connection was, I mean, I don't know where you are in the timeline. So for some of you, this connection closed out. For others of you, it's in the process of closing out. Either way, I think you lost yourself in that connection. There's a need here for you to learn how to be able to maintain, number 9, maintain your independence in a soulmate connection, in a connection, again, with a friend, family member, or lover. I feel like I tapped into a group of you where you tend to be a little low vibration. Don't take offense to that. Every zodiac sign has high and low. And I feel like I've tapped into a group of you that you tend to be people pleasers. Being a people pleaser is a nice thing. It's very Libra-esque. It's very Justice card. I want to, retain or regain balance here in this connection. That's a beautiful energy. But unfortunately, some of you do it to your detriment. You allow people to take advantage of you, and then you kind of get caught up in situations, environments, or connections that don't really serve your highest good. And at that point, you tend to not say anything because you just want to, again, keep the peace and keep everything balanced. There's something here from this connection that either closed out or is closing out, that it doesn't mean that you did connection wrong. It just means that you lost yourself in the connection. So moving forward now, there's a need here for you to make that judgment call. Say, you know what? I don't have to be afraid to have friends or connect with family or connect with a love interest now or in the future. I can be able to do that and still maintain who I am. I get the feeling you lost yourself with whomever this person or these people were. Tell me more about the 10 of Swords here for Libra. What fell on the Ten of Swords? We have the Ace of Cups. That was the truth. The Two of Wands and the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, the Sun. I like this and I don't like this for you. I don't like what you've gone through because I think you opened yourself up to someone. I think you opened up your heart chakra. I think you loved this person. I think some of you still love this person. And I think this person betrayed you in some way. I don't know what lie or act of deception or betrayal took place here. But I think it was enough for you to decide to move in another direction. Some of you, like I said, have already done that. Others of you are planning to do that in the future. But this relationship was meant to teach you something. What was this relationship supposed to teach, Libra? Again, I feel like that you can speak up and you can stand up for yourself and you can, you know, retain your independence and your autonomy. You don't have to lose yourself in a connection. I think that's what happened here. Tell me more. One more shuffle. Thank you. Justice, which is you in the Major Arcana portion of Tarot. Page of Swords. That's what you were supposed to learn, my dear. To speak up. Four of Swords. And the Hangman, that you are allowed to speak up, that when something doesn't bother you or doesn't feel balanced or you feel taken advantage of or there's a red flag in a connection, instead of being passive, Four Swords to the Hangman and say, I'm not going to say anything because I want to keep the peace. What you were supposed to learn is Page of Swords, Queen of Wands here, take the inspired action to speak up. This doesn't feel right. This feels all off balance. I feel disrespected. I need clarification about what you said. You know, there's something here where I think in the past you avoided difficult conversations because you wanted to maintain the peace. That person or these people were a damn good teacher. They were supposed to teach you how to use your voice. So moving forward, it's important that you do that. So yeah, it's time for you to reconfigure, not so much your connections, reconfigure how you show up in connections. Be able to use your voice. You are an air sign after all. Anything else Libra needs to know? And that Page of Swords is, you don't have to be aggressive. You know, you don't have to mother F the person. You can still be mild and tempered and sweet and kind and balanced, but you can still voice concern or ask questions about something you don't understand or that just doesn't feel right to you. Anything else you need to know this week, my dear? King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Four of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Wands. I like this energy for you. Yeah, I think you need to start investing in using your voice. I think that's where your victory and your success comes. You have entered a new chapter of your life, or like I said, maybe you're a little further back on that timeline. That's okay, but in that respect, and you would be entering a new chapter. It's important, regardless of where you are on the timeline, that this new chapter, you utilize the skills from this connection or these connections and learn to speak up on your behalf. Don't sit there as the wounded warrior. Instead, learn from this wound, learn from that lesson, and I think you'll be a stronger Libra collective moving forward. That is what I have for you, my dear. Your angel number for the week is 955. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Scorpio. My moon bebes. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does Scorpio need to know for the week ahead? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Angel number 611. Communicate. Speak your heart. Say what you need to say. Your angels are encouraging you to communicate your wants, needs, and thoughts to the people around you who love you. Think of a change that could make a relationship in your life stronger. Tell the person you love about it in a way that they can hear. Okay, tell me more about this. 611, communicate. Why is this the message for the Scorpio collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Some of you could work in communications. Some of you can do very well communicating in the private sector, meaning your job. And then you have a difficult time, though, communicating your wants, needs, or desires in your personal connections, like with your friends, family members, or lover. But yeah, some of you are excellent at communicating at work and not so much in your private connections. Tell me more about this here for the Scorpio collective. One more shuffle. Thank you. What is this all about here this week? Five of Wands, the Magician, and the Six of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Cups. Yeah, like I was saying, I think you do very well at work. I think you're afraid to speak up in a connection that you hold dear to your heart. And I think it's because of some past losses here that you've had. I think there was a point in time where you were vulnerable with someone. I think you opened up your heart chakra. I think you welcomed this person into your life, again, as a lover, as a friend who maybe you treated like family. I think this person betrayed you in some way. And I think your heart chakra has been a bit closed off. Again, I don't think you're like that with your business partners or acquaintances or people that you work with or your neighbors. Like, I'm not saying you're an a-hole and your neighbor waves hello and you flip them the bird. That's not the feeling here. But the feeling here is I'm a bit guarded because of what has transpired. Like the last time I opened up my heart, I was betrayed, or the person walked away from me, or I was so emotionally depleted in the connection, I had to walk away from them. So there's a little bit here of a trust issue in the Scorpio collective. Again, I think you do well at work with acquaintances, people that you can keep a little bit at a distance. I'm not saying you don't have friends. I'm not saying you don't have loving relationships. Please don't interpret this in the wrong way. I just think when it comes to truly being vulnerable, you hold yourself back. And I remember there was a point in time several years ago where I had a lot of friends in this town. I mean, I ran for local office. I was a very well-known public figure back then. And I remember sitting at a local bar where there's over 100 people in there, and I knew everyone's name and they all knew mine, and I felt so alone. It just dawned on me in that moment that I was okay with having all those people in my life as long as they were at arm's length, because I had some very close personal friendships that really burns me over the years. So you want to meet up and have a drink at a bar? I'm game. You want to hang out and text for a little bit or come see a movie or go grab sushi? I'm game. But if you want me to actually open up and tell you my deepest, darkest secrets or fears or anxieties that I have, you're out of your mind. Like, I was never going to trust anyone with that stuff again. And I'm not telling you to be naive and trust anyone with those things, but I'm sure most of you have one person that you actually could open up to. And if you don't, this is just saying, when you do find someone new in your life, a friend, like I said, or a lover, it's time for you to learn how to be able to speak from your heart and just be a little bit more vulnerable. I don't think that we can, I say we, I'm a Scorpio moon, I don't think we can judge everyone based upon the failure or the betrayal that occurred in that connection or other connections that we've had. Tell me about the Five of Wands here. One more shuffle here. Thank you, because the Magician is Mercury. All right, this is Virgo and Gemini energy, and Mercury rules communication. And then the Six of Swords is also part of the air suit, which is the communication suit. So there's something here about being able to manifest moving forward and being able to speak freely in your connections, right? Speak from the heart. Five of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Wands, Justice, and the Four of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Hangman. I think you had someone here in your life that you opened yourself up to. I think you thought it was the fair, just, and right thing to do. I don't know if this was someone you were married to, where you were in a committed partnership with. Could have been a roommate that you lived with. I don't know. But I feel like this person was inconsistent. I think their inconsistency caused some arguments. And I think since then you've been a little reluctant to be vulnerable with certain people in your life. Now the path forward this week is open. It's time for you to learn from that wound. Don't allow it to jade you, and time for you to speak from the heart. Let's get some advice for you on this week. Six of Swords to the Magician. Time for you to communicate your wants, needs, and desires to the people around you. Or work on that for when you do have someone new enter your life. Tell me more about that here. One more shuffle. Thank you. What do we have for you, Scorpio? We have the Ten of Swords, learning from those past lessons, Three of Pentacles, and Judgment. Bottom of the deck, Three of Cups. Yeah, I think it's safe for you to trust again. Again, I'm not going to tell you to trust naively, and I don't think that you would as a Scorpio. But this is telling me it's time for you to learn from those lessons of the past. You can be vulnerable in connections without being gullible. You can be vulnerable without being naive. I'm not telling you to ignore the red flags. I'm just telling you that there's a time and a place to be guarded. And the advice here this week is for you to just open up your heart a little bit. Yeah, learn from that lesson, right? World card for me is all about closures, completions, and lessons. I think it's time for you to be happy again, rejoice, and just be a little bit vulnerable with those around you this week. And again, I don't think you have to dive into the deep end of the pool, you know, head first or feet first or anything like that this week, but you can dip your toe in the pool just a little bit. That is what I have for you, my dear, for the week of January 11th, 2026. Your angel number is 611. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. With all of that said, I'm sending you light, love, and peace. Hello, Sagittarius. Sorry if my voice is going. I've been speaking nonstop now for almost an hour. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026 for the Sagittarius Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Okay, your angel number for the week, 359, discipline. Practice self-control. Your angels are asking you to demonstrate self-control. Your discipline will become stronger the more you use it. Take a step today to start a good habit or to stop a bad one, based on what you know to be difficult yet necessary for your growth. Take the stairs instead of the elevator, trade that soda for water, or make sure you carve out the time to get your meditation in today. Did you have this reading last week? I'm not sure if this was your number. It was someone's number. Maybe it was Leo's or Virgo. But anyway, time for you here this week, my darling. We have the Nine of Swords and we have the Devil. Yeah, time for you to practice a little self-control here. And it could be in regards to diet, taking care of yourself, sleeping. Oh, I think it was Leo. Yeah, it was Leo last week. So if you have high Leo placements, maybe you want to take a look at the angel reading from last week. Just click on the timestamp for Leo. Tell me more about this here for the Sagittarius Collective. So yeah, it could be in respect to diet, exercise regimen, getting better sleep, saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock so I can wake up at 5, 6, 7, whatever time you wake up in the morning. I just think there's something here that you're doing that you are... it should be part of your daily regimen, and it's not. Whatever it is, it's not, but it should be. One more shuffle here. Thank you. What do we have for you? We have the Chariot, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Death card. Yeah, something needs to transform here. And I get this feeling that for a lot of you, it has to do with how you take care of yourselves. Like maybe you're not making a lot of time for meditation. Maybe you're not getting enough peaceful sleep or restful sleep at night. I feel like the path forward is you being honest with yourself here this week and saying, yeah, you know, I need to cut out sweets, or maybe it's time to look at a cessation plan, if I can get the words out of my mouth, to quit smoking. Or I just feel like you're doing something here that's a little detrimental to your overall general health or your quality of life. It could be even ruminating on something that happened in the past. You know, we tend to do that. We get stuck in these cycles. Why did they do this? Why did they say this? But again, then we need to practice self-control to not do that. You can think about it for a small portion of the time. So I'm going to allow myself 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, to think about what transpired. I need to feel it in order to heal it. But then, you know, when the timer goes off, then I need to continue on with my day. For some of you, you work from home and you need to be a little better regimented with the times that you work. Tell me more about this Chariot. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Chariot is clarified by Judgment, the Celestial Weaver, and the Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I think there's something here in your life you're not consistent with in that Knight of Wands energy. And I don't know what it is, but you know what it is because I have the Ace of Swords with the Queen of Swords and the Judgment card. So I think you already know what this is. Again, you're trying to lose weight. There's something you need to cut out, you're not cutting out. Maybe you have a bad habit that you want to quit. Some days you quit, some days you go back to it. I mean, you work from home. Technically, you know what, I'd probably be more productive between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. And meanwhile, you find yourself working like 9 o'clock at night. I just think there's something here, part of your daily life or your life schedule that could be a little bit better structured or regimented. And with that would come success or greater success. And it could even just be like cleaning up your workspace. Sometimes we need to declutter in order to like clear away the energy of our space. And that might be something you need to do. I know I do that here. I work from home. This is my attic space in my 1860 Victorian. And when I shut down, you know, work up here, I make sure that the space is clean. I take any coffee cups I have or anything downstairs with me. I want to declutter the space so it has some good energy when I come back to it. So it could just be something like that. Like for those of you who work from home, just clean up, you know, tidy up your workspace in the evening. So the next day when you enter it, you're feeling refreshed and ready to go. And the energy there is clear. You don't feel energetically blocked because you're surrounded by dust, clutter, you know, I don't know, beer cans, coffee cups, whatever you have laying around up there. All right. Anything else Sagittarius needs to know about this? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Death card is further clarified here by the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Four of Wands. I think victory and success is yours with whatever this is. But yeah, I think there's something here that you're doing that is not beneficial to you. It could be affecting your finances, the way you feel. It could be definitely an energetic block for some of you who work maybe in the creative field. I just think there's a new practice here. Something... I get the feeling here you do it on some days and you don't do it on others, but you would know better what that is. It's a collective general reading. Figure out one way this week how you can implement something and then stick to it. And I think you will realize that your productivity just overall and even your energy will increase once you do that. So yeah, it's definitely time for you to practice a little self-control, maybe even get a better sleep or work schedule. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius, for the week of January 11th, 2026. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. Until I read for you again, my dear, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Capricorn. I've been a bit of a motor mouth for like 54 minutes, so I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. My apologies. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does the Capricorn collective need to know for Capricorn's sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus? What is their message for the week ahead? 547, authentically you. Speak your truth. We've been talking about this on this channel for you for like 3 months. Finding your voice, healing that communication wound. Speak your truth. Your angels proclaim that the time has come to express something you didn't feel comfortable expressing before to yourself or to someone else. This realization of self has been with you for a while now. Yeah, almost 3 months on my channel. And your angels are ready to create changes in your life to accommodate it. Reflect on what your future self would have to say to you at this moment. Okay. I think this is more about you being honest with yourself. Tell me more about this here for the Capricorn collective this week. Why is 547 authentically you their message? Because I think for some of you, you have already spoken up to someone in your life. I think... From what I see from the readings, most of you have spoken your truth on something. Some of you even cut ties with people who kept you small or didn't allow you to voice concern or opposition to what they were doing. And it's like the moment you spoke up, the connection ended, which told you right there that person was only using you, right, for a self-serving purpose. If the moment you say, I'm calling out this red flag or this doesn't feel good, and the person leaves you or absconds from the connection, that tells you right there that you deserve better than what they were offering. But this is a little bit different of a message. This is now, you have a new year ahead of you. We're now in your season. Oh, if you're celebrating your birthday this week, happy birthday. So I think there's an honest conversation now you need to have about yourself. You need to have with yourself about what you want 2026 to look like. What's the next thing you want to do? What is authentic to you in the next chapter of your life? Tell me more about this here for Capricorn. One more shuffle. Thank you. What do we have? The Ten of Cups. We have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Seven of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Four of Swords. Don't sabotage this new beginning. Be honest with yourself. What truly makes you happy? What would you like to do? Learn how to read tarot. You know, start playing tennis again. I don't know. What is it for you? Painting. I think in one of your readings like 6 months ago, paint by numbers was one of the message. I don't know. Someone watching maybe used to paint by numbers, 30 years ago. Maybe that's something you want to start doing again. I just feel like there's something here a little bit missing in your life. I think you got lost pleasing other people, being a dad, being a mom, being a provider, just life in general, even for those of you who are single or you're not parents. I just think you kind of lost yourself in life. And now you're finding your voice, which is beautiful. It's nice to see you finally be able to speak up for yourself instead of suppress until, the mountain explodes, the volcanic mountain that is. But now it's time for you to incorporate something that would truly make you happy. And don't sabotage this opportunity. Tell me more about the Ten of Cups here for Capricorn. You can take the inspired action here. And I think for some of you, this is something that you did in your past or you tried in your past, but then it kind of went up on the shelf, you know, like because life got in the way, or you put on the back burner, but you never got back to it. That's what it feels like to me. Because the Queen of Wands, all four queens in tarot for me exist in the present. And they all exist in the present. They're all forged through fire in different ways. But they exist in the present based upon their past experiences. And then the kings take action. They use that knowledge to take action into the future. And so there's something here I feel like in your past that used to make you really happy, something you used to do or something you wanted to do. And like I said, I feel like life got in the way. I think it's time for you to revisit that. Tell me more about this here for Capricorn. One more shuffle. Thank you. What do we have here for you? The Eight of Pentacles, something you used to work on, something that really interested you. Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords, bottom of the deck, the Magician. Yeah, I think life got in the way. And I think you tried making time for whatever this is. And you, like I said, there was just no time left. You became inundated with other responsibilities and the people, pets, plants, you know, et cetera, in your life. I think it's time to get back to the drawing board. Maybe for some of you, it's drawing. Maybe it's working in a wood shop. Maybe you like working with wood. You know, this person here has a wrench on the table and there's a bench here. I think this would enrich your life. And it could be financially, but it just could be emotionally as well, especially with that Ten of Cups. But I do see an enrichment here in the Capricorn collective should you revisit this one thing that either you used to do and you stopped doing because life got in the way, or you wanted to do it but you put it on the back burner because life got in the way. It's time for you to revisit it and get creative with that Magician energy. I feel like this is your moment to be authentic. Don't Seven of Swords yourself. Don't like betray yourself by not doing this or thinking, oh, that's silly. That's, you know, paint by numbers. I did that 30 years ago. So what? Do it again, you know? Tell me more about this, because I think this would be an act of betrayal on yourself if you didn't do this or didn't go back to this or didn't revisit this. Tell me more about that here, please, for Capricorn. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Seven of Swords is clarified by the Four of Cups. It would be a missed opportunity. Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands, and that's the truth. And there you are. I always love seeing you come out in the Devil card in your reading. I think this would re-empower. Like, I think that this would give you power. This would reinvigorate you and the collective. I think it would be a missed opportunity. It would be creative. It would be fun. It would spark some passion. It would get the imagination going. You don't have to revisit this week, but I would inquire. I would be curious. That Page of Wands is a card of curiosity, discovering. And if you don't have absolutely anything like this in your past that you've put on the shelf or the back burner, or, you know, life got in the way, then just get creative and find something new. I feel like the Capricorn collective needs some way to express themselves creatively. And that could be learning an instrument, learning tarot, getting into astrology, painting, you know, I don't know. There's something like that. Woodworking. There's something here. And again, either revisit something from the past. I think it would bring you a lot of joy again. And if you don't have anything like that, then try to discover something new here for yourself. What interests you? And then you can create a path or a plan on how you can move towards it. But yeah, time for you to be authentically you and add a little bit of creativity and fun back into your life. That is what I have for you, Capricorn. Your angel number for the week is 547. If you like that message and resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out the description box to find out how you can become a time traveler. Until I read for you again, my dear, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What does the Aquarius collective need to know for the week ahead? Angel number 644, struggle. Self-created stress is unhealthy. Tell me about it. I went through it yesterday. Your angels are asking you to get honest about how you contribute undue stress and conflict to your own life. They ask you to contemplate how struggle plays into your comfort zone. Notice where you're making life harder for yourself today, even in the smallest moments. Make a tiny change today that a small struggle becomes obsolete. Yeah, for me, I realized it was time management of the weekend. I had planned to do too much. I wanted to tackle stuff in the house. I wanted to declutter 2 rooms on the first floor. I wanted to do laundry. I wanted to do food shopping. I thought I'd get my 36 readings done. Like, I just put so much on myself that by the time I sat down to do readings last night, to do this reading, I was going to do Sunday night. It's now early Monday morning here. I was just so stressed out from the weekend that I was like, you know what, I'm shutting the lights down, going to take a shower, pour a glass of wine, and I'm going to relax. So for me, that was self-created stress because I overpacked my schedule. So whatever it is here for you, I think it's important, and I'm an Aquarius rising, as most of you know, I think it's important for us to recognize that sometimes we create. It's internal to us. We create the struggle. Do we deal with external struggles every day? Sure, we do. And we have no control of those external struggles. We can only react. We can only control our reaction to them. But a lot of times the stress, like what I did this weekend, is self-created. And I think it's time that we own that and make sure that maybe moving forward we don't do that again, or we learn from that. And I know, like for me, I'm not going to overpack my weekend again, and I'll just make my readings a priority. And then if I have time afterwards, I can go food shopping or do laundry. So a little bit better schedule prioritizing for me is what I learned this weekend. And I did that 2 weekends in a row. So I should have learned it the weekend prior and I didn't, but this weekend I clearly got the message. Tell me more about the struggle here for the Aquarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Five of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the Hermit. Yeah, I think there's something we're doing. Like for me, it was really bad time management. It's like we want to do something, it catches our interest, and we start thinking we can get it all done, right? The Knight of Swords for me is the fastest knight in the deck. Some tarot readers say it's the second fastest. Either way, it's one of the two fastest. So it's something like my father would say, running around with like a chicken with its head cut off. I can get this done. I can do this done. And then you are depleted. This could even be like, I want to buy this. I need to buy this. I need this. I need this. And then not realizing how much money you're spending. So there's something here that we're doing. It feels fun, or it feels good, or it feels creative, or we feel like we can get it all done. We feel on top of the world. We can knock all this out, oh, I could do all that in 2 hours. Or I could buy all that, in 2 days. But then there's a consequence to it. And the consequence is there's a deficit here, whether that's emotional, psychological, physical, or even financial. And I think we have to see that the world is a hard place these days. We're dealing with a lot of external issues that impact us on small and large scales. We shouldn't be adding to the stress of our life. There's enough stress in life, right? So I think this week with that Hermit energy, it's like we need to go within, just find out one thing that we're doing that maybe we could do a little bit better. Yeah, to just kind of remove just a little bit of stress from our life. All right, tell me more about this here. Tell me about that Knight of Swords to the Page of Wands. Thank you. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Hierophant. I think this has been a long lesson here for the Aquarius collective. I think we run around. I think we like getting a lot done. I think it makes us feel excited. I think we're happy when we're accomplished. I do believe that we are very goal-focused, a very goal-orientated sign, regardless of what placement you have. But with that could come fatigue. Or like I said, we get very excited about something. We want to buy it. We need to have it. And then there's a little bit of buyer's remorse. So there's something here just making better use of our pentacle resources. As the Queen of Pentacles, this is the investment queen in tarot. Whether you're masculine or feminine, how do you invest your pentacle resources? Your time, your love, your money, your dedication, your loyalty. There's something here about doing it in a more balanced and healthy way so you can truly be happy and content, as opposed to, I'm going to get 100 things done, or I'm going to buy 100 different things that I really don't need. And then, like I said, you're sitting in some kind of deficit, whether that's financial, emotional, physical, or otherwise. And now my throat chakra is going on me. Okay, tell me more about the Five of Pentacles here. So I think there was a lesson here to be learned. And sometimes we create our own stress. We create our own struggle. We put too much on our plate, or we engage in activities that feel good in the moment, but then have a negative consequence afterwards. Five of Pentacles. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles here. Yeah, self-created stress is unhealthy. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Emperor, the Eight of Swords, and the Six of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something here that we're doing. I get the feeling here it feels good in the moment to get all of this stuff done, but then you're physically exhausted, It feels good to, I'm going to read this book in a day or two. And it's wonderful. I love reading. I have books all over the house. But it's you know, maybe something that you can do over the course of a week or 2 weeks or a month, and not, you know, you're crash reading within a 24 or 48 hour period. There's something here we are doing, and I feel like it's creating short-term victory or short-term success, or maybe even you know, we're buying stuff here that makes us feel good in the moment, but it's a trap. So we're doing too much. We think we'll feel really great. We'll feel really accomplished once we get this done, or we buy this item, or we eat this food, again, whatever it is. But really what we're doing is we're creating stress for ourselves, or an unnecessary financial burden. I think the victory comes from identifying whatever this is, calling it out, and not practicing that, replacing it with something that is healthier. Can we get 3 cards of advice here? I know now on Amazon for myself, I have the pause. If there's something here that, you know, I'm sitting on the couch or I'm downstairs watching TV and something comes to mind that I need something, I write it in my phone. I got like that little notepad app on my phone. I write it in my phone and I wait 48 hours. I mean, unless it's a total emergency, but I'm hardly ever buying anything on Amazon. It's a total emergency. So I put it on my little list. I don't even add it to my Amazon shopping cart because that's too easy to just click checkout. So I'll copy the link and I'll put it in that little notepad app that I have on my phone, and 48 hours later I'll check it and I realize I really don't want that thing. I wanted it in the moment. I saw something, I remembered something, you know, but if I wait 48 hours to buy it, it turns out I don't really need it. So I think for some of us maybe it was instant gratification, but then there's buyer's remorse, or it's just negatively financially impacting us. Tower card fell out of the deck. So we have the Page of Cups, we have the 3 of Wands, and we have the Tower. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Swords. Yeah, this is something that we're doing to ourselves. We're self-sabotaging maybe our health by eating. You know, we're consuming things that we shouldn't be consuming, or maybe we need to consume them in moderation. Maybe there's a little overindulgence here on the part of the Aquarius collective. Or like I said, we're buying something for instant gratification, or we're packing a lot on our plate and then we're leaving ourselves physically or emotionally depleted. So figure out what this is for you. And there's some kind of plan or strategy here that we can create. And like I said, for myself with buying stuff on Amazon, I now do the 48-hour wait period. And I also now have a calendar, and I'm going to use that to better utilize my time on the weekends. Monday through Friday, I'm pretty good at, but on the weekends, not so much. I tend to say yes to lots of different things, and I overpack my schedule. So there's something here about me also managing my time better. So whatever it is for you, figure out what it is this week so we can stop self-sabotaging ourselves. We have the King of Swords right behind that. So yeah, over the course of the next 8 days, I just saw the 8 of Wands card. Figure out what that is for you, and then come up with a healthy way on how to address it. Like I said, the world and life in general is stressful enough. There's no need for us to create more of that ourselves. That's what I have for you, Aquarius, for the week ahead. Your angel number is 644, recognizing the self-created stress. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace. Hello, Pisces. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look now at your angel message for the week of January 11th, 2026. What is the angel message here for the Piscean collective? For Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Angel number 123, stepping stones. You are on your way. You are on a distinct path and are well on your way to your goals. Pay attention to the details, as each choice you make now will present a small part of the bigger picture. The little things matter. Take a moment right now to close your eyes and visualize a path in front of you leading you to your heart's desire. For those of you on this new path for the Pisces collective, I just see some really great things coming your way. I've been saying this for about a month or two. I'm super excited to do your readings in 2026. I just saw the Wheel of Fortune card. I just feel like it's your time. I think you've been through hell. I think you made some big changes. I think you're closing out some monumental chapters in your life, and you are opening new ones. You are definitely on your way. I would use this week to start figuring out what you want the rest of the year to look like, and maybe even the rest of your life. And I know that's a big task, but you can start small. Tell me more about this stepping stone here for the Pisces collective. 1, 2, 3 for the Pisces collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. What do you need to know, my dear? We have the Page of Cups, starting small, King of Swords, so you can make decisions that are best for you. High Priestess, that's your energy. Bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. It could be in regards to partnership, you know, and whether this is someone who is currently in your life or someone that you would like to meet one day or like to connect with. But I think you need to figure out what that is. For those of you who are single, maybe you closed out a connection. Maybe this means now you're on your way to meeting a new soulmate. What do you want that new soulmate to be like? Not look like, not feel like, although those things are important, but what 5 qualities do you want them to have? I think I shared my story with you that I wanted 5 specific qualities in a person, in a partner. And I met him a couple months after my marriage came to an end, and he had those 5 qualities, and we're close to going on 6 years now. He still has those 5 qualities, so make them good. Not if he needs to be 6'5", and although he is 6'5", is great. It's a mansion with a beautiful view. But anyway, the point here is those were not the qualities I asked for. I did not ask for physical attributes. I wanted someone who was funny. I wanted someone who was authentic and honest. I wanted someone who would not emotionally or sexually neglect me. I wanted someone that had the same vision and goals and respect to partnerships like me. And I wanted someone who was adventurous. So I would, you know, again, if this is in regards to partnership and you're single, what 5 qualities are very important? Do you want them to be honest, you know, and authentic? You want them to be fun? What is it? And I wouldn't list physical attributes, because you can get someone who looks exactly like you want them to look like, and inside they're just a rotten apple of a human, you know. And I think you've dealt with that already. I don't think you want another one. You can ask for someone that you are physically compatible with. You know, that's a good way to let the universe know that, you know, hey, I'm not looking for any scrub. You know, I want someone who presents well, that I'm sexually attracted to, and they're sexually attracted to me as well. But I wouldn't get too hung up on the specifics. But I would definitely key in on 5 personality traits that are very important for you. And this could be in anything. This could be in regards to a love partnership, a friendship, a business partnership, but figure out what you want. For others of you, you are now entering a new connection, or this is an existing connection in your life. What do you want the future of that connection to look like? You know, this friendship, how do you want it to bloom and blossom? This love partnership, what do you see for the next chapter? I think it's important that you go within and be honest with yourself. Tell me more about that Page of Cups. So, yeah, whether this person is in your life or not, 10 of Cups, whether it's a friend, family member, or lover, what do you want this connection to look like? And if you're trying to call someone new in as a friend or a business associate or a lover, what are the 5 key personality traits that this person, these are like my must-haves. And again, I would keep them to personality traits, not so much physical attributes. Although, like I said, you can make one of them, I want this person to be, you know, physically pleasing to me, and vice versa. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I wouldn't get too hung up too much on, don't waste 4 out of your 5, you know, traits just based on attributes. Who cares if they have blue eyes or brown eyes if they're a total jerk or jackass? You know what I mean? Tell me about that Page of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Page of Cups is clarified by the Emperor, the Queen of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Cups. You have someone new coming into your life. I would figure out who you want them to be, what you want them to be, what qualities you want them to have. Because you have a possibility here of attracting someone who's just like a past person. So I would get real clear on manifesting what it is that you want. Otherwise, you have someone coming in who's just like the last friend that screwed you over, just like the last boss who screwed you over, just like the last business partner who screwed you over, just like the past lover who screwed you over. So get really clear. Don't be all wishful thinking here. In that 7 of Cups, right behind the 7 of Cups, we have the Sun card, which does talk about clarity, right? When the sun is out, we can see for miles away most of the time. In order for you to manifest what it is that you want, that Magician card energy, it's time for you to get really clear. 5 key traits that a friend must have, a business a professional, a business colleague, a boss, something like that. Like I now work for myself doing this, but when I worked in the in accounting, I needed to work for someone who was authentic, and I needed to work for someone who was honest. because accounting, other people are trusting you with their books for their corporations, especially as an account auditor. And I could not work for anyone who didn't have that level of integrity. So that was really important. And I would even take jobs that didn't pay me as well, as long as I knew that I was working for someone who at the end of the day was really honest with themselves, with all of us as their employees, but also with the clients that we served. So figure out what those 5 key traits are, because for those of you, you have a new soulmate coming in, you have a possibility here. They're going to be just like the past person that screwed you over. So you're on your way to meeting someone new here. This is coming in quick. I mean, by Pisces season, by your season. And we're now in Capricorn. It's the 11th. I mean, we're 10, 11 days away from Aquarius season. So we're like 5 weeks away from your season. Figure out what you want this person to be and what qualities you want them to have. Anything else Pisces needs to know? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Death card, the King of Pentacles, and the Moon. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Wands. You have someone new coming in. And it's very likely that on the surface, they're going to look very steady and very solid as a boss, as a friend, like I said, as a lover. But they're hiding stuff. And what they're hiding is their true selves. Their true self is 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups, and Judgment. This person is in procrastination station. They could be having financial issues. There's a lot of conflict they have in their life with other people. There's possibly also an ex here that they're still tied to. And I don't mean they're tied to because they have a kid and they have to like provide child support or something like that, or take care of the kid. This is someone who could easily put you in competition, meaning they come off like the marrying king or queen, but really they're not. They're still, entertaining other people. So I would be very mindful. We've got 5 of Swords. I don't like this for this person. 5, 5, 5 here. I think you have someone new on your path, and whoever it is that you're calling in, God, I need a boss. God, I need a business partner, whatever, a financier. Maybe you're looking to get a loan. I would make sure, when you're manifesting, I would include, and I need this person to have these 5 key traits, because this person is going to come in looking very solid, and they're not. They're actually very 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords to the Queen of Swords is someone who lies. 7 of Swords to the Emperor is someone who uses very dominant force to control a situation. It's very high vibrational when it comes to narcissism. 7 of Swords to the Page of Cups is someone who can emotionally manipulate you. If you're watching this, you've dealt with someone who had one, if not all of those qualities. This next person probably has one of them. And I would get real clear on who this person is. Yeah, I would get real clear. Anything else Pisces needs to know? How about some advice here? One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the 5 of Cups, you have the 3 of Cups, and you have the 5 of Wands. Learn from your past lessons. Learn from that past connection or connections that are no longer in your life, so you can call in someone or a group of people who are more aligned with you. Otherwise, you're going to call in the same conflict that you had in the past. So, yeah. It's definitely, when it comes to soul connections, learning from the past mistakes. So we're not shouldering that level of burden again in a connection. Yeah, we already walked away from it. 8 of Cups, we already walked away from it. There's no need to repeat a cycle, right? Same lesson, different meat suit or different human, if you will. So yeah, get clear on that, my love. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, I think you're just a few weeks away from meeting a new person in your life. So figure out what you want them to be to you and what qualities they need to have. That is what I have for you. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.